Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dope Check episodes. Is it 52? I think it might be 52. The Major is done. We are here on the couch back at the Airbnb just after the Major is concluded. Welcome to the show. We have done so much content this weekend. I'm joined by Trey. Ace has taken our lighting stuff back to the airport. It's been a phenomenal weekend. If you guys want, look, this isn't going to be the longest show in the world because we got to take this stuff down. We got to head out and get some food, and we've been doing so much content over the last few days. So if you guys want more Dope Check, you are welcome to watch the last 4 days of pre-shows and even the one we did at the Airbnb last week because we've probably done about 15 hours of content over the last few days. So you guys have got plenty to dive into. But yeah, we're back. FaZe won the event, kind of dominated it. Loads of storylines. OpTic got slammed out.
What did I say,
Thieves
baby?
got slammed out.
What did I say?
There's probably a predictions champion, actually. We might need to have a look at it in a second. But yeah, Trey, how you doing? I'm about to crack this bev open in a second.
Well, listen, I was at the event all day. I've had a really good event. I've been, it's been very nice. It's been, we said it before we came here. This is probably going to be the best event we've been to. And if we're talking event, it's not the greatest event ever. OpTic bowed out pretty early, which kind of, dampens the event a little bit. But yeah, it was a nice event. I got to vibe out with you. I'm trying to change my flight right now so we can vibe out even more.
Oh yeah.
But we're going to figure it out. I've had a great event. FaZe fried, just like I said, I went 4 for 4. We went 4 for 4 on the Sunday.
I cannot wait for this prediction graphic to hit because I'm pretty sure we got the job done when it mattered. Actually, we definitely got the job done when it mattered.
But, we're sitting here. We cracked open a few beverages.
Oh, yeah.
Me and you were just chilling. Little duo app.
Little duo app. Yeah, you know how it is. Yeah, the event was great. I mean, unfortunately, the storylines didn't really fall in the favor of OpTic making some sort of deep run. I know that a lot of the fans, obviously probably local to Dallas, they turned up, they watched the OpTic series, and they dipped off home. So it wasn't like, compared to Champs last year in terms of the buzz and the noise and everything in the venue, obviously it was never going to get to that level unless it was a crazy run. But even then, I was a little bit surprised. I thought given that, it's not Champs, but I thought given it was a major back in Dallas, they'd won Champs here last year, I thought it was going to be a bit busier than it was. I don't know if OpTic kind of struggling leading up to this event had anything to do with that. Maybe not. But look, we got plenty to get into, right? We're going to start here. Challengers champions. It's Arcetes and the boys. Arcetes, Brack, Stanley, Johnny. I know that it was a mess of a Challengers event this weekend. This is Benjamin Bantz's tweet after coming in second. Unfortunately, they just about fell short. But, big name team is bombing out early. Fellows team went out early. Illy's team with the Stallions, they fell out early. Afro's team made a better run, but wasn't all the way. So, it was a big weekend for Challengers, really. It was a obviously horrific tournament in many respects. There was issues with the PCs, but look, winners win.
Winners win. They don't complain. But Challengers was a travesty. It was. There's only so much we can do. There's only so much they can do. But my boy Ben Bantz is back.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice to see. So, congratulations to our cities. Do we see him getting picked up? You got to think a lot of these teams start looking at these challenger players. And we're talking challenger players like RC isn't the fucking world champ. RC's done a tweet himself. He was like...
He did.
What did he say? It was something like...
I'll find it real quick.
He was like, shit's boring or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Said something like that, which is pretty funny. But yeah, congratulations to them. Ben Bantz, my guy as always. Yeah, another one, back-to-back land champ. I hate this shit.
This is what he does.
Which
honestly impressive, though.
He's won a few.
Yeah,
and not been picked up.
It's tough. Exceeded a tweet as well, kind of implying that he might be calling it a day. It's a shame, but it's how it is in Challengers, and I'm not sure there's so much evidence. Yeah, that's probably a good show.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's enough evidence to suggest that next year is going to radically change the scene. Obviously, the World Cup has kind of changed the game a little bit because you can qualify for that as a Challengers team, so I think it's made it a little bit more appealing to stay around as a Challengers player, but it's not optimal right now. But we'll see. I mean, Johnny's been in the league before. I mean, all these guys obviously been in the league before. Nagafen coaching, I thought, was kind of a nice touch.
And he's the front man of the squad.
Yeah,
he's in the
Yeah,
he's in the front hitting the Rashi.
Yeah, he
he's hitting.
Actually goes hard.
We've got
Wow, look at this.
We've got Bane.
Yeah.
We've got fucking...
Move the camera real quick.
We've got Arcity's holding up the middle fingers. We've got Rashi. We've got... what's that kid called? Rizzler.
Oh.
We got the Rizzler.
Yeah.
And then we got... Standy just hitting the Whataburger.
Standy's hitting the Whataburger.
Just the Whataburger.
Gotta respect it.
Yeah.
But you gotta respect Agafen's, like, he's moving different in this.
Yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah. I like how it looks like he's actually part of the team. Bro, he's part of the team.
Bro thinks he's part of the team.
Looks like he's about to drop 35.
Deaths.
Yeah, no, that's the
it's coming out. It's like Paul X coming out doing.
Yeah. Coming out with the headphones.
Yeah.
Oh man, Paul X was. We had a couple of walkouts this weekend. This was one. We had the Benjamin Beans. He was hitting the little.
We can't play the music.
No,
we can't
play the music.
Man. Many man. Wish death upon me. Can't no more.
Actually goes so hard. Beautiful work for Ben Bance this weekend. Ben Bance and Ben Beans.
Yeah, no, I've been saying it too. It's hard.
Yeah, no, I agree with that one. I mean, there was also this clip today was going around. So much trash talk as well. It was pretty brilliant.
I saw
like this central stage is not central, but like opposite each other stage has got to be the way to go, right?
What's this whole look at me gimmick?
Yeah, I don't really get that.
It's like if you tell me to look at you, what, you trying to seduce me?
Yeah.
Look at me.
Look me in the eyes.
Look at me.
Look me in the eyes.
Look me in the fucking I just shit on you. Look at me.
It's just a certain dominance, like in all domains, I think.
I think so. I think it's dumb as hell, but I think it's cool.
Get on your knees. Look me in the eyes.
Bow down to me. Look me in my eyes. But you can't help but look.
No, I mean,
like if someone's saying to me, like, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm locked in.
I'm
like,
locked in the eyes. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Funny thing is that when you lose one map and they do it to you, you look them in the eyes, and then you win the next.
I'm looking.
I'm looking. Are you running back?
Oh,
there it is. I think they want to he wants to call them dog shit while they're looking at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to trash talk you if you're not going to hear it. So, like, look at me, then you're dog shit.
I think it's funny. Like, I got dropped for that. Like,
yeah, still Thieves.
It's not Hydra.
I mean, I think they did a killer job, and obviously Thieves bombing out today. Oh, well,
wait,
we're not even on that. Let me.
Look, we've got to rerun it back. Look at me.
You got to run it back. Got to run it back.
Go to knees. Look at me.
Here it is. Full screeny. Oh. There we go. Look. There it is. Look. Yeah, you got it. Premium production, as always.
Hey, you see the flick, though? It's not like he's doing that.
That was nice.
He's not doing that. He's like... It's like he's throwing the eyes.
That's talent right there. That's talent from the Beans.
All right, well.
Scrap says, so effing embarrassing. Back for Major 3. GG's Toronto. Got to talk about Thieves.
It's got to suck.
Collapse
because,
today. Big collapse.
Scrap left Toronto.
Yeah. Oh. You did leave Toronto?
What's going on there?
It's all good. I got it covered. Trust.
Yeah, it's got to suck. You leave Ultra. One of the owners done a tweet back in a few months ago.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Basically saying, like, Ultra's team in 2025 will be better than Thieves. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've got it. You probably have.
I can find it. You know me.
And end of the day, do I think they're a better team? Overall, no. Did they come to this event and show they were a better team right now? Absolutely, they did.
Hell yeah, they did.
I think Thieves looked very slow in the first day, and that's why I predicted them not to win today.
Yep.
To me, it just seemed like they cracked under the pressure.
I actually think that is what it is. I mean, there was a couple of very interesting stories going around about Thieves this weekend. I had a chat up there with a couple of the guys working with their team just to kind of see what his perspective was on the situation, because obviously Major won. They turn up, they go game 7, round 11, both series incredibly close. They lose the finals. They go into the online qualifiers. They go 7-0. They win the minor, and they're thinking, we're back, right? There's no way.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
The fire's
there's
been
no
lit.
the fire's been lit. There's no way anyone's going to be beating us.
It was pretty dominant this series. I'm not going to lie. It was.
No, they
was
got
very
slams.
telling. It was
what's great? I mean, you look at this completed games. Okay, they lost to they lost to Boston, but look at their run, right? I mean, after the major, all the qualifiers, they won the 3 games here. Like they were on a 10-win streak. They turn up to play Boston.
And
they lose round 1.
I do say this as well. Their split wasn't insane.
No, they didn't play like insane teams.
It was a very fraudulent split.
Yeah, I kind of get that argument. Like, they didn't play a FaZe in here. OpTic obviously were frauds. They played Falcons.
They played a good surge.
Rocker not so good.
Did they play a good surge? Yeah, they did play a good surge.
Yeah, they played a good surge. And I mean, look, they at times online were on fire, and they showed it a little bit on the LAN. I mean, like the 3-0 against Cloud9 especially.
Although I will back off my statement saying it was a fraudulent run. You can only play who you play, and
yeah,
when they did play,
21 and 2 map count.
Fried them.
Yeah,
let's be honest. They look like the best team in the game.
No, I think
we're being honest.
I actually think that they're not the best team in the game.
No, they look like it. They look like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's not. I wasn't criticizing what you were saying. It's more like I think they clearly have the capability to be, and I think the Thieves themselves know that their ceiling is the best team in the game, even better than FaZe, in my opinion, if they put all the pieces together. But yeah, they didn't, and I think why they didn't is a big story. I mean, as I was talking to the guys about it, I think there was definitely an era of complacency that stepped in. Like they expected to beat Boston without much difficulty. They are a team with immense confidence. The problem is when you have immense confidence is that if you don't have like a good plan for what happens when you lose, then you run into trouble, right? Because I think what was happening with Thieves is that they'd come out and they get bopped map 1, and then they would not really know how to react because they're not used to that situation, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was a problem for them. I know there was also talk about the fact that because they live here in Dallas.
I think that speaks volumes. Listen, and hear me out.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I think when I spoke to Shane, I said to Shane, like, it's a little bit different for these boys because they live here. They're not in Allen, but they live in Dallas. And it doesn't necessarily feel like you're at an event if you go home and wake up in the morning. It feels like you're in it. That's already your routine on a day-to-day.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying? That's your routine on a day-to-day. You wake up, you go scrim, and then you go home. Now, if I was them, take it with a grain of salt. If Scrap watches this, you call me dumb, whatever you want. But if I was them, I would have got it. It makes no sense in terms of like, it does make no sense when you own a place in Dallas to stay in Allen. But for the pure fact of feeling like you're at a LAN event, personally to me, I would have got a hotel or an Airbnb or something like that, where I'm not waking up in my own setting because it feels like I'm out there doing the job I'm supposed to do. And that's what it's going to be like every event, so why would it be any different here?
Yeah, I think I agree. Like, to my understanding, Envoy got a spot around here and was staying at a hotel in Allen. I don't exactly know what the strategy was for the other guys, but
I heard 2 people stayed, 2 people didn't stay.
They were definitely split. I don't know. I think Envoy was here, and I think there were 2 of the other 3 were back in Dallas. And look, I get it, but also I do think to me that's a little bit of like a confidence thing because let's say it's champs. Are you doing that for champs?
Probably not.
Probably not. Like you're thinking of champs, you're probably just going to say, let's all get up here, we'll get a hotel, we'll do it properly. Whereas maybe for this event, they just felt like it wasn't really going to matter. But these little things add up as far as I'm concerned. Like
I think it's just more about feeling like you're at an event.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like events are supposed to, change a person in terms of there's a reason like, they call it Gwinternet or, people don't play as good as they do online to LAN because it's a different setting.
Yeah.
And for me, it's in like your home state or whatever like that. But you think, you go into all these different events and you have to stay in hotels. What makes this one different just because you live here? Personally, to me, I feel like you should be going to a hotel and just feeling like you are at the event. That's my take on it.
No, I'm in agreement with that. And I think that there's definitely a lot for Thieves to learn from this tournament. I think that they will. This is one of those tournaments where it will either make or break them as a team. Like, they either bounce back from this big time or they never fully recover. I think my opinion is that they will bounce back from this. I think they're the type of mentality that they'll make that work. But, they've got to understand why they came to LAN and they weren't able to replicate their online performances. And it's not like they're not able to do so. I think it's more, at the end of the day, it's a mentality thing. Like, it's the reason why they didn't win this tournament, or at least the reason why they didn't make the finals, is up here. It's not, it's nowhere else.
It's not in the goddamn. it's not in the gun skill.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys are fucking unbelievable. I do think this event was something of, like, they should probably take an opinion of, like, team bonding and be like, yo, we may be fucked up by not staying at a hotel.
Yeah, I mean, sure, that's not like...
It's not like the sole reason, but like just to get in the feel of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure they'll be doing that again. I guess is the takeaway, but I guess time will tell on that one.
It's like a London event. I could have went home.
Sure.
I didn't stay in a hotel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it makes sense. So yeah, Thieves bombed out. Surprising result. I think like Toronto deserve a lot of credit for the way that they played. Like they lost a crazy opening game to the Cloud9 boys. It was like an insanely competitive 3-0. Like,
yeah, it was crazy.
Pretty absurd way to lose this series. But after that, they locked in. They made a good losers run. I mean, okay,
they 3-0'd everyone.
Yeah, they 3-0 everyone they played until they played Surge, and that was a close series. But Surge just a little bit too strong there. Neptune, Nasty, both had crazy series in this one. And yeah, I mean, Thieves obviously falling short to Boston in the way that they did, opened this side of the bracket to Surge to make the run, which is exactly what they did. I mean, look, did they dispel the onliner allegations? I think, yeah, for sure.
100%.
Obviously, the finals didn't go the way that they wanted it, but even outside of that, like it was... I wasn't sure, given how good Toronto were playing, I wasn't expecting Surge to... I had them win this, but like I wasn't expecting them to come out and really fry. Like as they did Game 3, Game 4, it kind of felt like they were really in the driving seat. And yeah, you got to think Neptune's top... I mean, I don't want to say top 5 player in the game exactly. That probably feels like a little bit of a stretch, but it could be argued right now.
I think he's top 5. He's top 5.
He's top 5, Nasty's top 10.
To come into a team that was like,
yeah,
doing what this is like, in a hard road too. I'd say he's a top 5 player.
Yeah, I think you for sure can argue that. A rough series from Clinics about out of the tournament, but it was a good run from Toronto. Of course, they'd be gutted with losing in the way that they did because, maybe they'd have put up a better fight against FaZe in the finals, but kind of don't really think so.
I don't think so. I really don't.
Yeah, FaZe was just playing a little bit too strong this event. And I think it's also it's a scary one for, for the rest of the league, saying the way that the Thieves played or the FaZe played, obviously, especially when they close out the tournament. Let's just do OpTic, right? Because strange weekend for them. Of course, they hit the little ring ceremony on the Thursday. It was nice to see Kenny get his moment in front of the crowd. The thank you, Kenny chants. It was great to witness. I think it will revitalize Kenny's energy to some degree. Like there were a couple of interesting clips going around from Shotzi on a podcast where he was saying that like Kenny wants to play for another team, but he doesn't want to play for OpTic, which I thought was quite telling about how things are behind the scenes in that camp. And I mean, look, they came out and they slammed Minnesota. And I mean, slammed them maybe is a bit of a stretch because game 1.
No, they slammed them.
I mean, they did game 2, game 3, but game 1, as you guys can see on the screen here, they made a nice comeback to win this game. I mean, they were down 193 to 134, and of course, it could have been a very different series at that point, but they clutched up when it mattered. Gio had 43 for the L. Paul X had 0.72 for the L.
Nero and Paul, they got to sort it out.
Sky's had 140 seconds in the hell, to be fair. But
I mean, listen, I've already said Sky's coming into this team. It's a fucking death wish.
Yeah.
It really is. I don't know what they got to choose. I don't know what they got to change. Do we see another change coming after this event? I would be inclined to believe so. Do I know who it is? No. Do I know if they even started working on it? No. Skies came into a hard role, but he still wasn't dropping kills. He wasn't like Kenny dropped a 0.3 and 0.5s, but like it's not like we didn't see anything amazing. And Shotzi's right there with him.
Yeah, in map 1 of this series, like Shotzi was double negative. Like you're not typically seeing that all that often.
Yeah, I think.
But to be fair, you kind of have been lately, right? I mean, Neptune is the player right now that you expect Shotzi to be.
I mean, I think it's just very telling.
He had a 1.5 in the first series, but it's like, you know, Minnesota are fraudulent. Like we talked about this before.
I just think it's very telling that, you know, now everyone's just like not doing the greatest.
And I mean, if you look at Rocker's recent games, I mean, the last game they won was against the Falcons, and then OpTic before that. Like, if you look at their, I know they've played good teams. Like, okay, Ravens, FaZe, Thieves, Surge, Cloud9, FaZe. Like, okay, they've had a difficult run.
It don't matter though.
But it don't really matter because none of these series have really been that.
Like, yeah,
close
these teams
lately.
are good, but you're here. You are a professional.
Yeah,
you
exactly,
gotta put up a fucking.
You're seeing LLLL.
They're not even
like
fighting now.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the main problem for them has just been when Nero was playing well, they got away with Paul having a stinky. But when Nero's numbers start to look like this, there's no saving it, right?
Well, it's also like it's embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic Minnesota Rocket. They started out the season so well, and now if you had to predict whether they're going to make champs or not, you say they're not.
Did they start the season well though?
No, they played fraudulent teams, but like
not even that. They were just winning game 5s.
Yeah, no, you're right. You are right.
That's not a consistent way of playing.
No, I agree, but like they started the league in a way that you'd think, okay, maybe this.
They got a bit about them, you know.
Champs. Yeah,
they started off the year where they
grit.
could have got fucking.
Yeah, exactly. And they came top 4 or whatever it was in like the minor. They made a bit of a run. Like this was the, you know, let's go forward to here, but like this was their 20. Yeah, so they came top 4 in the minor. They did okay at the major. They at least got some points on the board. And then they started this stage 3-1, and then obviously since then it's been a bit of a collapse. You got to think the Rocker, it might be time. I need to go let someone in. Be back in a second.
I'll sort it out. Don't worry, I got this. Listen, it's time. You got to think it's time to just sort it out. Get Paul out the roster. I think he had a. I think his time's up. I think his time was up before this, to be honest with you. I think they just allowed it to carry on, and I didn't really. It's like fair.
Whoa.
It's like fair enough. You know what I'm saying? It is fair that you let him carry on, but even the majors were even the majors, like the qualifiers, he wasn't. He was poor.
It's a tough one. Like it's a classic Rocker move, but they should have probably made the move after Major 1 regardless.
Everyone's so scared to make a move.
That's the thing.
Everyone's scared. You know, I don't know why everyone's scared. Listen, love Paul to pieces, but this team ain't it for him. And unfortunately, they're in a situation now is like, who are they going to get? Because there ain't that much talent.
I was speaking to Fellow.
Welcome McGregor to the show.
Oh, you're speaking to Fellow?
Hello. I was speaking to Fellow up in the suites, and he was talking about the fact that he doesn't want to join a team that he knows is chalked, right? One of those teams is clearly LAG mates.
Hell yeah.
But he said he looks at Rocker as a team, if they get rid of Paul, that has a lot of potential.
He's not wrong.
So are we thinking a Fellow move actually makes this team better?
I mean, it makes it better.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, he's just got top 12 himself.
That is true. He also told me, Fellow, do I believe him or not? You know, he's been like baiting with the contract signing things and shit. He was like, look, next time I do that, it's going to be for real.
No, he's probably going to get picked up.
So, you know, it kind of implied to me either there's some conversations happening or, you know, it's something that obviously the teams have to keep in mind. Because Fellow's still been, of the options, like we were talking about it after Major 1, that probably Fellow for Paul for this team made an awful lot of sense. But, you know, obviously they've not gone and done that, so it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talked about them. I think we need to get back to OpTic real quick, especially now we've got our resident OpTic fan on the show.
Hello.
If the internet wants to work, you know, that's all good. Maybe
Internet
let's go back
seems
to
to
the
be
full screen real quick.
It's bricking it.
Yeah, the internet may just be bricking it. All the websites bricking it. That's also another option.
I don't think so.
I'll come back to this in a second because I got an OpTic tweet we can talk about anyway. So here we
cool.
go. This is Brandon Dashi Hotel. I know this isn't even the tweet I was looking for.
I love
that
the CDL
Major tweet?
Yeah, no, that was a great reply.
Hater Central was on smoke here. So if I go, like he hit the other ones as well. You know, we got a couple. He even hit the Pred one as well in the replies here. Hit one of these. Yeah, Trash Talk's been crazy.
Whoa. Bro, the one to
but
Dashy was hilarious. That's what happens when you win maps.
Yeah, the Dashy one was good. I think this was we also got this one. Obviously, people are getting smoked. Lucky Shrek.
Back to the faraway land.
Yeah. That's what happens when you win maps. So yeah, look, unfortunately OpTic getting farmed a little bit. It's tricky, right? They got slammed by Toronto. Obviously it's only one series that they lost there. At least they got to play a couple of series with Skies. I think Skies made the team's basically the same. We talked with Beans outside of the venue, didn't we, right? So Beans came out, and as we were about to interview him, obviously they just slammed OpTic, so he was he's feeling good. But we were like, look, Sky, is it making any difference? Because I beat him on, obviously 3 of them online as well. And Beans was like, it don't move the needle. So as far as Beans is concerned, I don't know if they've been scrimming them or whatever, but Beans' feeling is that team is really no different with Skies than Ken. And that's not necessarily like the team obviously needed some sort of revitalization, some sort of change to maybe try and get them out of a slump. But, then you see Dashy's tweets and he's talking about, we got to lock back in. The fire is lit. We're not going to get into that.
No. Whoa. Is the fire been lit for Major 3?
Yeah, the fire is lit for Dashy. I mean, look, we always clown these type of tweets because it's like, well, would have been got to lock back in. Like you should have been locked in about 6 weeks ago.
You weren't locked in when you went 1-6.
Yeah, like how about we locked in then?
I've probably got a locked in tweet somewhere.
I'm sure you
Wait, can we actually reverse search that at some point? I'll do that on my phone.
I'll search it on my phone.
I can do it.
Lock
It's all
in.
good.
No, but like with the OpTic stuff, I feel like it's kind of hard to give them the same like level of. It's unfair to like compare them to the roster because they had so much practice with Ken.
Yeah, no, I hear.
And they had a week of practice with Skies, and they look just as good, which doesn't say much, but it means that they're not any worse with Skies with 1 week. With all the other teams like having months of practice, Skies also had 3 weeks off, 2 weeks off since like week 1 of quals or something. So I feel like give them some time. Maybe another few weeks, we'll see. If they shit the bed in qualies, then they're done for. But if we see them come out in the next stage and they're looking good, if there's some new maps, you don't have any locked in tweets.
I think you're actually good.
Wow,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
I just think I'd search up like fire.
See, that's how I can.
That's how you can talk shit because.
Oh yeah. Ooh, boy.
All right, the internet seems to be working again, so we can bring up some of these numbers. But I mean, OpTic are 6th. They went up in the league.
Wow. How did they do that?
They overtook Miami.
Oh, Miami got bopped, eh?
Yeah, Miami got bopped out. So that's
the top 3 team, Miami.
Yeah, top 3.
They're top 12 now. That's how it works. So it's based on the most recent major. Yeah, Miami. I mean, like they could bring in Super or something.
Can we get away from the only Spanish players? I wonder if that. No.
The thing is, Renko and Real are actually real good.
Motherfucker, they are literally a Spanish team.
Yeah,
I know, but I want one of these days for them to mix it up a little bit. See if it can break the chain.
They ain't mixing shit.
Yeah, unfortunately, the way that it stands, Falcons, General Mates, Rocker, and Miami aren't making it to the World Championship. Yeah, they're getting tossed.
Getting thrown in the blendy.
So you got to think, General Mates, they blow it up. To be honest, I don't even really care about the team anymore. We got Bans tweeting about, Linz, it's time to go.
Wait, Linz had a tweet?
Linz did do a tweet.
No way.
I'm a little bit confused about what that meant. Are we thinking?
Yeah, same.
Are we thinking he's been cooked?
Well, remember we saw him when me and you got the interview with Priester on the Friday, and he looked let's say worse for wear.
Little Neymar.
Wait, when's this?
When we were waiting with LAG
There's
mates.
no way he gets dropped though.
Nah, they literally told him he wasn't. Fucking guy.
Heartbreak.
This guy.
Who is this guy? I need to get a name ASAP.
There's a couple of people on that account. Maybe it is just
but the guy doing the replies is on one.
Jiquab Pat, which is I believe not this. I don't believe it.
Well, I hope so.
Neymar from China and teaming combined. No way he got dropped there, huh?
I doubt on a Sunday.
What they gonna? Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't even know what a GIF means.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, is he saying?
He's not sad. He's not
He's
like.
saying like it's kind of like a thank you, but obviously he's just. I mean, presumably Neymar's just scored it, right?
I
maybe
mean,
not, I
yeah.
don't
I mean,
know.
I don't know why Neymar's his idol.
Yeah.
Is it just him being like, "Yo, squad wipe. I'm the only one left."
I mean,
Goodbye, Lunas.
yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Priesta.
Oh.
Can you get me a drink, David, please? Far out.
He was pointing at the drink like, and David's
What?
looking
David's
around.
looking at the towels over here. Drink in the fridge, man.
McGregor's
Sorry.
begging for a drink.
gagging for a
He's
happy dad.
absolutely
Give me
gagging
a
for one.
happy dad, please, David.
Yeah, lock that in right now.
I got a simp interview. Did you see that?
No.
Now we have to simp and go on.
Hell
Bringing him
yeah.
a
Wait,
Coke
after the
Zero. He's
event?
bringing him a Coke Zero.
Oh, I'm pissed.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm
I don't know
pissed,
what-
David.
Speak you up.
I'm pissed. We've got happy dads in
All
there.
right, we got happy dads in the fridge. All right, you know, ignore the interruption, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry,
We're just
guys.
figuring out the whole drink
I
situation.
need a drink.
Here. Yeah. To be fair, it's been a weekend.
Yeah.
It's
It's
been
been
a weekend.
Quite
for
a
us
lot.
here.
Thank you,
Yeah.
David. That is wow.
It has been tiring. But you know, the
Let's
whole
get back to the
team's-
show.
The whole
Put it-
team's been working hard.
put it there.
He's gonna put it there.
Thanks, David.
Excellent work, everyone. So yeah, general mates, they're gonna blow it the fuck. To be honest, I don't even know if anyone's gonna stay. Like, and we're talking about, you know, even broader than just the
I
team.
mean, I might
you know
just
what I'm
fucking
saying?
come back.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
bro,
think-
there's mini roster spots for you.
Well, I mean, do you want to?
all I'm saying is that organization is not run well at all.
Do you want to go from bottom to top, and we do a little segment
Little segment.
of change or not change?
I like that. Vegas Falcons. Is
Change.
it time?
I mean, they're changing because they got.
We think they
situation-
might be changing.
Yeah, they got a little situation.
So Hume's
too
obviously
with-
stepping
yeah.
out too,
I mean, I think the Falcons are going to be a very interesting one to watch because
because they can get Kenny and Hook right now,
and Fellow.
and Fellow right now,
oh,
if they wanted. I don't know about Kenny and Fellow, but
yeah, that's
get
a
one or the other.
weird roster.
I mean, listen, we're just spitballing.
Just 3 good players, but
But
none
it's
of
like-
them work.
the funny thing is, if you're Fellow, obviously you're not joining Gentlemates. You're not going to Miami.
I'd be locked
But
on the
hey,
Falcons.
Intel,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
I'd probably
he
be straight
said
on the Falcons.
the only team he wouldn't join is mates.
Yeah, well, hell yeah. I mean, of course you join the Falcons. They could put some bread in if you,
You wouldn't
prove
say
to be the capital.
you wouldn't try and you wouldn't say no. I'm never joining Falcons.
Yeah, hell nah.
No, he would join Falcons, but he would
Turn
only
the team
join if the
around.
roster
I think
was
I'd pay to be on
completely-
Falcons.
Oh yeah.
What's the point then?
Yeah, we got a nice little interview going on.
All right, so let's go. Falcons change. LAG mates retire. Rocker change. You guys can disagree with this, all right?
No, you're good.
Cloud9
Stay.
change.
I like change on this, I think the problem, okay, Cloud9 are a very interesting team. They obviously 3-0 Toronto, who did really well, and then they lost to FaZe and to Thieves. Okay, it happens.
Bro, look at the losses they have. They're
Yeah.
all against the best teams.
Yeah, but that's like,
was
what are
just
you
bumming
trying
the
to
bad
achieve
teams.
here? Like, what are
Yeah,
you trying to
but
do?
There
Do you
might
wanna-
be,
this is my thing. Do you want to make champs or do you want to win?
Yeah.
but
Because
Now-
on this current trajectory, they're gonna make champs
A
if
lot,
they keep playing like this.
a lot of organizations,
But what are we trying to do?
they want to make champs.
Hell yeah.
But the players want to win.
Exactly.
But you guys think that there's always going to be a positive bringing someone in? It might be the exact opposite and they get shit on.
All right, then you put someone on the bench. That's what it's there for.
Yeah, but then now you've lost like 2 weeks of practice and you got shit on. Now the vibes are shit.
You know,
Like,
Yeah,
I think
but,
these guys
yeah.
have a trajectory where they can be
For
competitive with the best
trajectory,
teams.
Listen, for sure, but they've
Trajectory.
look at the people they've beat and look at the people they've lost to. They are literally beating shitters and losing to good players. That is not a good way to be.
I think the concern for me is that like they show a lot of promise and then they turn up to play the big series and they just can't deliver
Yeah,
it.
they can't even get it to 5 unless it was Surge at the
Yeah,
start.
exactly, yeah. And even, you know,
And
stuff
they beat
like that,
Toronto,
so-
who done well in the tournament, but it looks to me like they just match up well against Toronto. 'cause
Toronto
of-
are just a super hot and cold team as well. Like I
Yeah.
do rate Toronto, but they're very inconsistent.
How can you
still.
3-0 Thieves today, smoke them, not even close?
Yeah,
and
they
then
get
lose
3-0
to
by Cloud9
Surge?
the other day. Yeah, lose to Surge in the way that I did.
change.
Is what it is. I think, to be honest, if they are going to change, look, I love Attach, but I think that he's the man to, you know, he would be the most under the spotlight, I think. Not to say he would necessarily go. Sib obviously is not going anywhere. Krem should not be going anywhere.
I think Mac's been lackluster too.
Mac has not been super on point, I think, but you could look at either of these two. I think that like the point I made on the show a while ago that Attach is playing like reincarnated accuracy. I do see it sometimes. Not say every series, but there are certain series where I'm like, there could be more impact here. Not to say that Attach can't deliver that exactly, but it's the same thing with Kenny, right? It's like, I'm not saying it's as bad as Kenny, but Kenny's obviously a much better player than he was showing.
Yeah.
I think that they'll probably stick it out because I think they've shown enough evidence that they will probably do that. Should they? I think it's a 50-50 one to me.
Heretics.
Strange. You might as well try.
They just got to bring Super in.
Yeah, they got to try Super, bro, because
this is the most fraudulent team here.
yeah, they're at 100.
They are close to being next to LAG mates. They had a good major. If they weren't, they'd be
bang on. Rip that shit. Boston Breach.
Nah, they're cool.
Okay, now this is where we break it down. Because you said
You're going to break it one now?
Cloud9 need a change.
Boston ain't got money. Cloud9 do.
Yeah, but Cloud9 aren't willing to pay.
It's not about that. I'm not about roster changes.
Wait.
Boston ain't got bread. They ain't going to pay someone 2 months' salary and then pick up someone else.
Yeah, but then look at these matches. Go to their matches real quick. Let's see. Who are they losing to?
But they've been playing the God Squads.
The same guys, and they also lost to Cloud9.
Yeah, but you got to
take
take
3-1 Falcons. Though.
You got to take it with a grain of salt of who you're dealing with.
Yeah, but
I also think the context of the team is slightly different because on Cloud9,
it's just what I do, twin.
On Cloud9, you've got one superstar AR in Sib who's like cooking, and then you've got one AR who's not looking so good, and you've got like one. I mean, I wouldn't say Kremp's exactly a superstar sub, but
I mean, he's been frying.
Yeah, he's been frying, right? Purge and Snoopy, like, there's still questions maybe on Purge in terms of consistency, because most of the series he plays, he's not exactly going positive, but I think in terms of comms and managing Snoopy, I actually think he's a really good asset, especially with speaking with him. I think he's, like, a great guy for the team.
He's a cool guy, too.
Yeah, he's got his head on his shoulders.
Yeah, he's got, like, he's the type of player that I think you want to have, as long as you've got enough talent around him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, Cammy and Wake, they both played better this event, and it's not like there's a clear-cut one. Because look, their numbers this year are not good, sure. But if we filter by most recent games, like if we deselect and just go to games that were played, this major or whatever, right? Like if we just go through and see the major games, I mean, like, it's not like it was spectacular. Throw in the Miami series as well.
Oof, it's the same.
It's
maybe Snoopy needs a new SMG duo.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but it's like Cammy and Wake have both been. You can't choose which one to drop. That's the thing. If you're going to make a change, there's no clear upgrade, and you can't choose which one to get rid of. So I think probably you just stick it out. And also from a vibes perspective, I know that Cloud9 are probably the same, but we said it during the weekend. Like, these guys are going around the venue together. They look like they're having a good time with each other. Like, sometimes you see the teams with their coaches too. This case, that wasn't true. Like, Shawnee wasn't there, the coaches wasn't there, but, like, those four were just vibing together, walking around the venue, walking into challenges, like, always together as a team of four, which I thought was just a good sign, really.
Yeah, it was.
So, like, they're a team that I think they will make champs. Could they get better? Yeah. But I think they showed enough promise to me here to say, all right, like, let's give them a little bit of time.
Because Snoopy to be more, not Snoopy, Purge to be a little bit more.
I think so, yeah.
On the same wave.
I mean, if you look at the teams they played 3 of the top 4 teams. So, like, I'm not saying, like, it is what it is, but, like, they came top 8 this tournament. They could easily be in, like, top 6, based on the teams they played, which would, if the bracket fell a different way for them.
Yeah.
And obviously the Thieves win was impressive because they played, like, really, really good COD in the Thieves series. Obviously, Thieves did not play to their level, but, like, they did play some good COD in that series.
Yeah, that was good, but then they had to play Vancouver next up and got smoked. They did.
Okay, OpTic.
Yeah, change.
You want them to change now?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Guys, who do you want them to change?
I want Hook back.
For who? Pred?
Yeah.
What's Pred going to do?
He's going to go to Falcons.
Far out. I hate these narratives.
Listen, it's not about who's better. It's about for the team.
Little half a White Claw through.
Yeah, but, like, who got... Okay, the way I see it is... The OpTic team went to the first major. They were the favorites, right? They were #1 seed.
Hell yeah.
They were doing well.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah.
Showed up at the major.
Yeah.
Had the same issues they had now.
Yeah, and guess what? It's time to go.
It's time to go.
Listen, it's nothing to do with how good the player is. It's to do with the vibes on the team. It's chalked now.
You think it's chalked already?
Look, this is a clip here from Donathan Temp.
Uh-huh.
Donathan.
Donathan.
It is Donovan, actually. So I was
Hey, wait, what website is that?
I think that's the CDL official website.
Oh, yeah, I've
isn't it?
seen that before.
They do like the MVP.
Yeah, the CDL have a great site.
Their site is always right. No mistakes I've not seen on that site the last couple of days. I mean, look, Temp's take, people were clowning this take because obviously Toronto, who 3-0 OpTic, went on to 3-0 Thieves. So people were like, actually OpTic are back because Toronto 3-0 Thieves. But I mean, like, and then Toronto lost the next round anyway. So it's not, come on, let's be serious here.
Just matchup cheese.
Yeah, it's maybe matchup cheese. And okay, OpTic made a losers run, so they, we didn't get to see them play too many series, which is unfortunate. I think they'd have liked to get a bit more time with Skies, but Temp's coming out here. He speaks with Kenny, of course, they're boys. He said he's speaking with Brandon Dashi and says the team's done, it's over. He even went as far to say in this clip that there's echoes of his old Paris Legion team.
Whoa.
Which isn't a good sign.
No,
so he says there has to be a two-man change, and obviously Shotzi ain't going anywhere. And I mean, Paul Skies has played one event. I think he's done a commendable job. I don't, but it's just,
huh?
I mean, look, he came in and he did Kenny's job.
Let's be honest, right?
That's what
Commendable.
I'm saying. Commendable Kenny job.
As an OpTic fan yourself,
Yeah.
do you see this team of 4 getting active?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, this game, these 4 players, it doesn't really look like it's going to work. And they proved that because even if they were in a honeymoon phase, that honeymoon phase ended quick.
Yeah, they beat 0.5x.
That's a good one.
Uh-oh.
It's a good one. Nah, I agree, but I also know, like, as a fan of them, and like most of their fans know, like, their upside and their potential is insane. And so we just, as fans, we want to see it go. We want to see them do it.
They don't have a ceiling right now with this roster.
Well, they have a ceiling. It's just not that high.
They got midget ceiling.
Yeah.
They got a dollhouse ceiling.
They're staying in that little hobby house.
Yeah, they're staying in a
Yes.
little door.
They're in Hobbit.
The little door.
Listen, I like I said, I will always support OpTic in terms of, I'm not an OpTic supporter, but I like we need them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We need them.
You need me.
We need them. We need them to be back.
I thought we didn't need them.
Oh. Inside joke.
Trying to get cancelled.
Yeah. Don't run that one back.
But no, like I said, is Hugh the guy from if you change Hugh with Pred? I just feel like they need a little bit more pace, and maybe Skies, wasn't the right guy in terms of the pace they needed. But are they going to get rid of Skies now? No.
Nah, I don't want
to. They're gonna check out. They're gonna be like, listen, Skies, first of all, whatever. Like, I genuinely feel like they might just keep the same players and maybe just run it back.
I think they will.
But like, if you got Donnie saying they need a change, he's an insider. He spoke to the players like, you got to think something.
Where did Donnie place at the Challenges Open?
He was coaching probably a team.
What?
I'm not sure.
Does he not play anymore?
No, he doesn't play. He's not played this year.
Oh, wow. I'm faded.
Tim called it a day.
Yeah, should have known that.
So I think that's the tricky one with OpTic is that, you got people saying they need to change. Clearly things aren't going right. Like, I think Shotzi's just been a different character this year in many respects. Like, even with the shit talk he was doing, but it feels like there must have been, there was obviously things happening in that camp. I'm sure they're still relevant as well to the present day. It just feels like there's obviously some shit going on there behind the scenes, and it just feels really difficult to imagine that they can play at the level they need to be at with what's going on. Is that something that's fixable? I mean, not easily. Shotzi will be there. You'd think that Dashi will be there. I don't think he should be going anywhere, but at the end of the day, that duo, Shotzi Dashi, they should be held at the same standards of the Tiny Terrors, given the talent they have. Mm-hmm. But it's not even close. Like, it's not even close. Draza has come into FaZe, and in the last 2 years, he's already won as many chips as Dashi.
In his whole career.
In this team, yeah, in his whole, exactly.
I think you've also got to look at it as well as, like, FaZe, even if they do bad or that, but FaZe being some, when that drama was going down last year, all right, and we had these takes of, is the team fucking with Draza, is it fucking over the team chemistry and like that, and guess what? They sorted it all out.
Yeah, they
you know.
did.
But you feel with OpTic, there's always something going on.
People were saying today, and I still believe it, it's like every year with OpTic is just a movie. It's a Martin Scorsese masterpiece. Like
Little Quentin Tarantino.
It's a little Christopher
Stan Lee.
Nolan.
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee.
That's a crazy one.
Little,
Little Marvel action.
it might need to be a little Michael.
This is Endgame.
Yeah, this is the end game, actually.
This is Thanos.
I mean, Hex might need to Thanos snap.
It might need to be a little Michael Bay, the way they're going to be blowing it up.
Very nice. Give me that.
Yeah. I was waiting for that one.
Little Transformer action.
I know they like that one.
Transform that roster.
They like that one out there. Okay, so we've got. So I mean, look, do we have the thing? Is if they blow it up, what do they do? That's the main point.
There's
Like,
nothing, bro. The only one's fallow, man.
It's so painful, man.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, you look at the league. I'm looking at Joe Deceives. I'm looking at maybe a Gwyn. I'm
You're looking at people
like a
they
Sib,
can't get.
and I'm saying maybe next year.
Wow.
but
Awesome.
until
But
then,
it's a new game anyway. They may as well just run back the same roster because of the talent they have. Like at that point.
we're trying not to make. We're trying to be down there with the Falcons.
Hey, I'm being honest. Like, games matter. Maps matter.
Brother, it's not about the talent. It's about the team vibe. They're chalked.
Hey, new game, new vibes.
No.
Doesn't work that way.
Listen, I've been on some chalk rosters.
Did you ever But did you have a chalk roster that went through to the next season, same roster ever? Probably not, right?
Our team were rated 2 years running.
Yeah, but just rated, right?
Because it was a chalk roster. He hated me, I hated him. But guess what? We didn't make movies. We sat down on the main stage and we locked in. We locked in. We had the fire.
We had the fire.
But we didn't need to get dropped to have the fire. We just
All right, so Surge are up to 5th in the table. If I just hit the refresh to make sure this is up to date, because I think this is up to date.
No, it should be, yeah.
Yeah, because FaZe got 330.
They do have 330?
I mean, the only other team to really talk about here is Ravens, right? Because I feel like some of my narratives, I wouldn't say they've been proven correct this event, but look, I was of the opinion that Boston were a bit better than they showed. Did they show that this event? Yeah, maybe. I had the same opinion of Toronto. My opinion of Ravens was that they're worse than they look. Like, which I feel is a little bit harsh. But the issue is for Ravens is that they are a very S&D reliant team. And
whoa, vivid.
You know, and this event, their search, I mean, look at their search, you know, they're 21-12. The respawns are pretty much even. You know, that's how they get their they get their series wins. And obviously they've got a couple of freebies against the Falcons recently. But if you look at their recent games, Ravens, you know, okay, they've lost a couple of times to Thieves, but I mean, look who they've been beating, right? Falcons, Gentlemates, Falcons, Miami, OpTic.
Whoa.
Like it's, you know, if they've had a nice little run. Okay, the Cloud9 win was actually pretty good, but the Rocker win also, they're frauds. So
yeah, but when they lose, they're not even close. Look at that.
Yeah.
3-0, 3-1. They're not even going
exactly.
5.
And it's been interesting recently because they've not made
they
many
got
game
slammed by
fives
Thieves,
win
if I'm
them.
not mistaken.
Oh, it was bad. It was real bad. I mean, it was the same before. I know that this matchup doesn't work for them well, but this is the type of series that, like, you know, what are you trying to achieve? Because, did you see this? You don't know how bad this was?
I did see it, but seeing it again, just it's unbelievable.
Yeah, horrific, right?
No
I mean,
wonder
people are going to clown Gwyntonet.
Yeah, we saw Gwyn. Remember we saw Gwyn yesterday?
Yeah, we saw Gwyn. We ran into him around the side of the venue.
Let's
He
just
obviously
say
spent some time with his family too.
Yeah, vibes were low.
Vibes were pretty low. I'm not gonna lie. And also he was on his own. Like, yeah, look at this. Look at these
Graph
look at these lines,
is
right? This graph is crazy, right?
65.
So, but this is like the crazy thing is, right, that Thieves have played Ravens. I mean, let's have a look at this actually.
I think they've 100-point clubbed them 3 times, maybe 4.
I heard a crazy stat. Let's have a look at the minor. 165.
That's
165.
an improvement.
Yeah, but if we go back to the Major, you guys remember the game they played at the Major?
Yeah.
Which was this one. Oh my God. 47 and 66. So you can add up some of these hardpoint results against Thieves, and they literally don't add to 250.
Yeah, those 3 maps combined, they don't get 2. They don't even get 180.
But Vivid has
right?
not been playing great.
No, I think this is the question, right, with the Ravens, is that they're sitting pretty in the standings. Like, they had a good start. They've been performing in the minors, right? So they're sitting at 190, right? Then there's no way they're not making champs. Like, it's a dogfight down here. Obviously, a seeding for champs is important, but they're definitely going to make it. I think everyone can agree with that. So the question then becomes, okay, as your point on Cloud9 was that if they make a change and it backfires, then it could screw them over. Whereas on their current trajectory, they're probably going to make champs because they're winning enough to make it, I think. Whereas for Ravens,
They're already there.
They're already there. So the question is, okay, do we want to try and take the next step? Because there's kind of no risk on some level. There's not as much risk for Ravens.
Doesn't this win guarantee FaZe's spot champs too?
I think, I think for sure it does.
I think anything over like 220.
Because if Falcons win everything, but there's only 5 qualifiers, I realized. There's only 3 weekends of qualifiers and then a major for the next 2 majors. So if Falcons win everything...
There's no minors anymore, is there?
Yeah, no minors.
If they can only maximum get 300.
Yeah, they can get 300 points, Falcons, if they win everything.
Which
they win
we know is not happening unless they pick up FaZe.
Falcons could end up the 2nd seed. But they can't be the 1st seed anymore. So Falcons, they must be fuming tonight.
Have you thought about the
realize they can't be first?
Realize they can't be first.
Imagine if Falcons literally paid $5 million to buy out one of the teams. Like,
just
fucking FaZe. Drop $8 million.
I don't think anyone. I don't think you'd accept it.
I feel like they would accept it for $8 million.
What about just buy the org?
I feel like
just
take Falcons.
I turn up tomorrow and
I feel like
FaZe have just been renamed.
Logo's the same,
Atlanta
but green.
Falcons.
Yeah.
That might go off. To be honest, that'll be one of the craziest things we've ever seen in COD.
I mean, they got the bread to do it.
They do.
If they wanted to do it,
You could drop a bill.
they could have a conversation. So I think Ravens are an interesting one. The thing is, I guess, with them, what do you do? Because obviously Gwyn's not going anywhere, although he has been a bit of a fraudulent LAN player. Also, the other thing, I know people talk a lot about, Gwyn's LAN KD actually isn't that bad. Because his LAN KD is like a 1.
But I've never understood how it's not.
This is not my point, okay? Like I said, I made this point on the last show we did. My point is that, yeah, it's an okay KD. It's a respectable KD. You ain't going to get dropped off of there. But you can't, we can't keep going off dropping 1.4s, 1.5s online. And, like, it looks like it's somewhat scraping the team boys. You know what I'm saying? He's, like, winning their team games.
Yeah,
and then he goes to LAN and he's not winning his team games.
Yeah, he's insane online takeover.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's my point about it, is that this roster is always going to be inconsistent on LAN until, Gwyn starts dropping 1.6s.
Yeah.
Because, unfortunately, where they're at right now is Gwyn absolutely tucks everyone online and then comes to LAN and he's just, neutral.
Yeah.
And it just
check
the
his
point that
major stats. Go if you go through and
The point that I was going to make was that
0.57. What was that?
I mean, do you want to see?
Nah, just go to his Yeah, go to here.
Just go here. The point that I was going to make though is that like his KD is only a 1 on LAN or like a 1.0 whatever, so pretty good. But you've got to think they're often getting bopped out of tournaments early, so
and
he's not playing the big teams.
Got a 1.6 versus Falcons.
Yeah, it's like if he has a 1. If he's dropping a 1.05, but he's making it deep runs in tournaments and he's playing FaZe, he's playing Thieves, he's playing, the top teams frequently, then sure. But his LAN performances haven't been good.
You take out this Falcons KD, what's he on?
Yeah, it ain't great. I mean, And it was obviously a similar story before. Like, look, we talked to him and he says he doesn't think that he plays any differently, but it's obviously, there's something to be said about it. It's obviously a talking point.
And I do respect him for acknowledging it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like he's just like, oh man, like,
How could you not though?
And I respect him for acknowledging it, and he even talks to us about it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why he came on. That's why he DM'd me that one time.
Yeah.
It's just like, where do you go? Because like, it's just the inconsistency.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not asking to drop a 1.4, 1.5 on LAN. Yeah. Meet me in the middle. The 1.15.
1.15 would get him over the top, perhaps. But they would probably still lose to Thieves 250 to 120. Right?
I mean, this is the issue. Like, look, I rate Slasher and Tej. I think that's a good duo. The Search and Destroy is going to tend to be pretty good. Look, the Gwyn Slasher Tej thing, no issues there. Vivid, I also think he's done well. But always on this team, it's just how it is. For whatever reason, Vivid ends up... He's always like the odd man out on all these teams. Like, if they're going to make a change, Vivid is going to be considered, even if it's unfair.
See Vivid on the map.
Yeah, I think you're actually right.
Like, I just feel like he's not done anything like, ooh.
Like, and his numbers this year really aren't great. Like, I think they're actually worse than I would have predicted them to be.
I just don't think he's there. I don't think he's with the boys.
Just go to all matches. Go completed matches. And we'll just see.
Like
I wanna see
you
those
could tell
big
me
teams.
Vivid's not on this team, and I would believe you.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah. So, and I think their results so far have kind of made up for it. But it's now getting to the point where I'm sure that Slasher after this tournament was thinking, okay.
But this team could pick up Fellow.
Back to Ravens.
I mean, maybe. The thing is, I kind of worry about Fellow a bit just because of how it would work with Slasher.
Do they have issues?
No, I just mean like Slasher wants to be the leader. You know.
Yeah, but like
if
if you're Fellow, you're gonna be like, "Fuck, Slasher's the leader." That's
I spoke to Fellow again about this
Sure.
as well. He was like, he wants to come into a team and be a leader and like make sure like to fix the issues, not to just like
I
come
don't
in
think
and
he's
like
gonna
do it
say
with his skill.
no.
He wants to do it with his.
If they
comms
offered
and
him, I
everything.
don't think he's gonna say no. But
Nah,
I think there
not
would
with
be
this roster. For
there
sure
would
he
be some
do it.
questions.
I think he
there.
knows if he came into this roster for like made about. My thing about Vivid is when he first joined the league, he was electric. You know what I'm saying? He was pretty good. And now I just don't feel like he exists.
Yeah, I've not. We just
He
doesn't
have any crazy impact on the map.
And the search has still been bad. This is the issue, right? Like Tej was, Tej Slasher, like Gwyn really, but like hard carrying their search and destroy. Vivid was never really good at search at all this year, and now their respawn's a bit more questionable. They need to rely on their search and destroy, and it's not working for them, right? Like, and it's not like Vivid's delivering.
I think this team goes under the
radar
radar of roster changes because of how well they're doing
Yeah, I
points
mean they're
wise.
fourth in the league, but like
They're getting worse.
I think they could consider it. I know that some people have said, "How about a bit of Kylo Kenneth?"
Ugh. Sorry, that was a bit rough.
Slasher Tej Kenny.
I like
we're
what
bringing
Trey
back
said the
Thieves
other
Cold
day.
War.
What Trey said the other day about Kenny not playing till next season is probably the best route for him.
But it also sounds to me like he didn't want to play for OpTic.
Sounds like he
From
didn't want to
what
play.
Shotzi said.
Period, though.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, from what shots he said.
Like it doesn't matter what team he would have been dropping a fucking
no.
0.7.
From what shots he said, it sounds like he wants to play, just not for OpTic.
What? He should not play.
That's what he said.
Shotzi did say that.
He shouldn't play, man.
I mean, look, he doesn't have to. Kenny will get picked back up, but there were a couple of teams that
Little Slasher
could be
and Kenny
options.
action again.
Yeah, to be honest,
I
with
don't
Ken,
know if they'd want to run it back, but I think that they could. Like, obviously, there's history there. I mean, even with Tej as well.
I
history.
truly believe that you can play bad for one team, get dropped, and go play for another team and be fine. We've seen it happen numerous amounts of
I mean,
times.
Slasher, Tej, Ken, and Gwyn.
Sounds like a fucking good roster.
That's like a fucking good roster on paper. It really does. Because the Vivid thing never made sense. Let's be real.
No, I mean, Vivid
Like
was a sub and he changed to
on
an
the
AR for
flex
his team.
is always
Yeah.
weird.
no, but their philosophy for that was like they want to see him be a fast AR. You know, like an aggressive as fuck AR. But the
Whoa.
problem is he's dropping a 0.8.
The only aggressions he done is fucking, got lucky.
Yeah, straight to the grave.
I
That's a talking point.
There's got to be a soundbite.
I think they should change.
I mean, I want to see. I like ambition in teams. I think that Boston a couple of years ago when they dropped Vivid. I was actually talking to this about Denz on this couch, Granny's couch, a couple of days ago, and he was saying that like that's one change when he was in management position that he like regrets because they came top 4, and they were like, okay, how do we get to the next level? And then obviously they got rid of Vivid, and it was not the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
But equally, I respected them for trying, I think, on some level. And I think for Ravens in this case, they're decent in the point standings. They could take a risk because this team in 4 is not winning an event. Like Toronto, I think, have the ceiling to do so, although it's unlikely. I think Thieves obviously can win. FaZe can win.
It's
Surge can win.
It's like the Aches thing. You can always pack a punch.
Yeah, exactly. You can always back. Like Ravens have to be looking at the other teams around them right now, looking at the standings and saying, realistically, are we going to go to
If
an
Reese
event weekend?
gets dropped, he could probably get picked up by another team.
Yeah, yeah. Are we going to beat Surge, Ultra, Thieves, and FaZe at an event weekend right now? Because those are clearly the top 4 teams in the game.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even close, I don't think.
And then Ultra, no, they're not changing.
Maybe
Thieves,
Cloud9 at 5th, to be honest.
Thieves, no, they're not changing. And then FaZe, change. No, I'm joking.
Did you guys watch the
We got to have a few words here on FaZe.
nade shot reaction though to them losing? Do you have that clip
Thieves?
at some stage? Yeah. Because we
Yeah.
put that on the Twitter. If you want to pull that up at some.
What,
stage.
like today?
Yeah.
Was Nadeshot in the tweet?
Yeah, he was at the watch party.
No, I know he was, but like, is Nadeshot quoted in the tweet?
Yeah.
Does it say Nade or Nadeshot?
I would say. Well, that's me. Nah, it'll be nade shot. Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
This is the one.
Let's see how we saw this. I actually haven't watched this
Let's
properly.
get some sound on this.
we get some sound on this.
Oh my goodness, they just took way too long right there.
Shit, we suck. What the fuck am I watching, dude?
Wait, back it up and full screen it, bro.
Oh my goodness, they just took way too long right there.
Shit, we suck. What the fuck am I watching, dude?
Look at the others.
They just took forever.
Oh no, man. There's
no.
There's nothing. Fucking nothing.
Yeah, we talked about the Thieves a little bit earlier, McGregor.
Yeah.
When they need to change everything. Yeah, tough weekend for them.
Ultra just
Like,
played
it's,
that
We
so
are
good.
literally hot.
You know, we're coming up on an hour here on the show, so we're not going to go for too much longer because
We got food.
Food is calling
We've done so much. Listen, let's let's
we've
talk
got to
about
finish
FaZe.
out on FaZe because obviously the champions of the tournament, like, they deserve an unreal amount of credit, I think, for the way that they've been able to turn things around. I don't want to like get into this whole performance coaching thing, whatever, but it's clearly made a difference for them, right? Because they're working with this guy Matt Fisher over at Adamas Esports. He worked with the New York team when they won the World Championship. The organizations that take it serious, I'm going to put it straight up, are investing in these type of projects. How do you think Toronto every year, despite not having the most talent in the world, got great players for sure, there's a lot of talent on that team, but every single year, Toronto are in this position because they are probably the organization that takes it the most serious. They invest in the direction that esports is heading, and some organizations out there don't. FaZe didn't a couple of years ago when they were losing all their grand finals. It was a problem for them. They've recognized that their second place curse was a problem, the silver server curse, and they found a way to get around that issue. And the fact that at the end of last year's World Championship, they were on the border of making a change. They were thinking about dropping Celium. You know, I'm sure that things internally in their team have not been all sunshine and rainbows, but they've put some of the stuff behind them and they've come out and they know they're the best team in the game and they're delivering on it. And the fact that they dominated the grand finals, like we've seen FaZe teams in past, what they would have done is they'd have 3-0'd Surge here and then they'd have lost in 7 here. Whereas what they did today was exactly the opposite. And when it came to the grand finals, Surge put up a great fight in the, in the obviously winners finals when it was a crazy game 5 round 11. But probably it wouldn't have mattered, right? Because when FaZe made the finals, sell out at 1.7, which is the highest KD in the history of the CDL in the grand finals.
That's insane. I did not see that.
So yeah, just like it was underwhelming, but it's underwhelming in a way that the rest of the league has to take some serious notes because like they just went back to back to back. They won the World Cup, they won Major 1, they won Major 2. If you don't consider the minor, which doesn't really count, then like FaZe are trying to sweep the year.
Yeah.
Like they're genuinely on the way to
thing I
sweep the year.
I asked him that, and he was like, "We could."
One thing I like about this team is you always see them together.
True.
Yeah,
Going to dinners, just walking back from the event.
Same
Even
with Boston.
outside, we were at the back.
Huh?
Same with Boston.
Yeah,
Don't see
but
that with all the
you
top
can't
teams,
compare
so.
a BZ, Celium, Drowser, and Central Boston. But what I'm saying is regardless of what's happened between this team, or regardless if they win, lose, or anything like that, they're always together.
Yeah.
This is a real team, and I respect the hell out of Celium, Abizi, and Sim for always sticking beside Draza because, he hops on stage, he gets the most shit, and you got to respect Draza for him popping out on stage and talking his shit and, playing the game, and he can talk the talk
Draza's
and walk
just
the
the
walk.
perfect guy for this team.
He
always
he's
was
good.
the perfect guy for this team. He comes in, he does his job. He's not trying to change the way that they're trying to play the game. Like a bit of fun in the back and forth, it really, right? But Draza said not a map in the finals. And look, he can talk his shit. As I said little while ago, like Draza last year came into FaZe, they won a couple of events. This year they've already won 2 events. Like that's 4 events that Draza's now won with FaZe, and that's like that is the same as Dashi's won all time, right? I mean, it's 2018 Vegas, it's Major 1 in Vanguard, it's Major 3 last year and Champs last year. So, not really to compare the two so much, but still, I like Draza and Dashi. They get along, they're kind of boys, but like you've got to be taking notes the fact that Draza's coming into this FaZe team and helped elevate them to a level of consistency that we've really never seen, even from FaZe in this era.
Yeah, I mean, just in grand finals, really.
Yeah, it's like last year, I made the point on the show a good few times that I thought this FaZe team was the best version of FaZe that we'd ever seen. And I made that point about this team of 4, and they turn up to Champs, they come 6th. So I look like a donkey. But I still believe it to be true, because last year, at times, FaZe were playing at levels that I don't think they'd even played with RCTs back in the Cold War days. They'd go and win the World Cup, and then they've won 2 in a row back to back after that. So like, if teams didn't already realize, they know now.
This team's good, and we called it today. I've been calling it since before this major. FaZe are winning. I called it the last major too. FaZe are winning, and there's a reason I'm saying this. I ain't dumb. You can take their online play as much as you want, but when they get to land, these guys are different gravy.
For sure.
Indeed, they are. Teams have a lot to learn. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've been going just over an hour. Appreciate it's a shorter show, but if you guys want more dope chick action, feel free to check out our pre-shows over the last few days because we've been talking an awful lot about all these stories about 3 hours every day.
There's a lot.
They're all on the Spotify. If you guys want to check them out over there, they're all on the live tab on the YouTube as well.
Yeah, there's even some breaking point drama in there if you want to go.
There actually is a little bit of drama as well if you guys want to get involved in that. But yeah, been an absolute pleasure. We ran this event differently to usual. We came here to an Airbnb. We could have watched partied and done everything we normally did at the event. Of course, the host was always with OpTic and the League, was super accommodating to us. But I think this time we did it better, right? Like we did the watch party from here, or we did the pre-show from here, and then we spent our days at the venue getting some serious content that you guys are going to enjoy over the coming days. So yeah, I think we can, long may it continue. Don't know about whether we're going to be in Miami. That's, from what I've heard, if there's one to miss, it's probably that one. But, like,
sorry.
Sorry, but this is what I'm hearing.
No offense, but Miami, you might have to lock it. Listen, if one team had to get the fucking fire back, it's Miami after that fucking shit show last year.
After last year's major,
you got to think the boss goes, "Oh, I'm gonna fire now, boy."
Yeah, so we'll see. But like, it's been great to be here in Dallas.
For sure.
Great to meet all of you guys as well at the venue, and it's been great to have McGregor with us as well for the first time at an event with the boys.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. Okay, take care, everyone. We will speak very soon indeed.
Yes,
on the outro.
sir.